The story opens in the year 2387, where humanity has been part of the Galactic Council for over 2 centuries. Earth serves as a peaceful member, trading technology and resources with dozens of alien species across the galaxy. Captain Jake Miller commands the defense station orbiting Mars, monitoring routine cargo ships and diplomatic vessels. The Vorthan Empire, a militaristic alliance of 3 powerful alien races, has been expanding aggressively across the Outer Rim territories. They view humans as weak because Earth has never engaged in large-scale warfare since joining the galactic community. The Vorthans have been testing boundaries, raiding human supply convoys, and demanding tribute from Earth colonies. Ambassador Lisa Brooks works desperately at the Galactic Council on Alpha Station, trying to resolve conflicts through diplomacy. The Council, dominated by older civilizations, sees humans as newcomers who should accept their place in the galactic hierarchy. When Brooks presents evidence of Vorthan attacks on civilian targets, the Council dismisses her concerns, but the breaking point comes when Vorthan warships attack the agricultural colony on New Hope, a peaceful world inhabited by 50,000 human families. The aliens don't just raid the colony, they systematically destroy farms, poison water supplies, and take thousands of civilians as slaves. The attack is broadcast across human space as a warning. Captain Miller receives the distress signal too. Late, by the time rescue ships arrive, New Hope is a burning wasteland. Among the survivors is 8-year-old Tom Parker, whose parents died protecting him. The boy's haunted eyes represent the innocence that the Vorthans have destroyed. Earth's President Maria Santos addresses the planet in a somber broadcast. She announces that humanity tried the path of peace, but their enemies have mistaken kindness for weakness. The Galactic Council has failed to protect human civilians, so Earth will now protect itself. In secret military bunkers buried deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Robert Stone begins activating protocols that have been dormant for centuries. The camera reveals massive chambers filled with weapons technology that no alien species has ever seen. Humanity has been preparing for this day, hoping it would never come. The part ends with Stone's chilling words to his officers. They wanted to see what humans do when pushed too far. Now they're going to learn why Earth conquered its own solar system before we even met aliens. 3 days after New Hope's destruction, strange energy readings appear throughout human space. The Galactic Council's monitoring stations detect massive power signatures emanating from Earth, but their sensors cannot identify the source. Ambassador Brooks receives urgent messages from alien diplomats asking what humanity is doing on Earth. President Santos authorizes Operation Deep Strike. Hidden facilities across the planet begin producing ships and weapons, using technology that humans developed in secret over the past 2 centuries. While publicly maintaining peaceful relations with aliens, Earth scientists had been studying every species they encountered, learning their weaknesses and developing countermeasures. Dr. Mark Johnson, head of the Prometheus Research Division, explains to Admiral Stone how human innovation works differently from alien technology. Where most species specialize in one area, humans adapt and combine technologies in unexpected ways. The weapons they've created don't just match alien capabilities, they exceed them by thinking outside conventional warfare parameters. The first demonstration comes at Titan Station, where Captain Miller oversees the testing of humanity's new warships. The vessels look smaller than typical alien dreadnoughts, but they incorporate stealth technology, reverse-engineered from 6 different species, weapon systems that combine plasma and kinetic energy, and AI-assisted targeting that can process battlefield data faster than any organic mind. Meanwhile, the Vorthan Empire celebrates their victory over New Hope. General Corax, leader of the Vorthan fleet, boasts to his subordinates that humans are too weak to retaliate. He orders attacks on 3 more human colonies, intending to force Earth's complete surrender within a month. The Vorthons don't realize that every human ship they've destroyed, every colony they've attacked, has been feeding data back to Earth. Human military analysts have been studying Vorthon tactics, ship designs, and battle formations. What the aliens see as easy victories, humans see as intelligence-gathering opportunities. Young Tom Parker, survivor of New Hope, is brought to Earth for medical treatment. His presence in the military command center serves as a constant reminder of what's at stake. When Admiral Stone shows him the new fleet being assembled, Tom asks if these ships can protect other children like him. Stone's answer is simple: no one will ever hurt human children again. The park reaches its climax when Earth's first strike force launches from hidden bases throughout the solar system. 50 ships, each incorporating technology that took centuries to develop, begin their journey toward Vorthon space. Their mission isn't just military. It's a statement that humanity's patience has limits. As the fleet enters hyperspace, monitoring stations across the galaxy detect the energy signatures. Alien civilizations that have watched the human Vorthon conflict with indifference suddenly realize that they may have underestimated Earth's capabilities. The prey is becoming the predator. The human fleet arrives at Corva Prime, the Vorthon Empire's main military base. General Corax commands over 200 warships stationed around the heavily fortified planet. When his sensors detect 50 approaching human vessels, he laughs at what he sees as a suicide mission. Captain Miller leads the assault from the flagship Retribution. His tactical display shows Vorthon ships moving into standard formation, exactly as human analysts predicted. The aliens are fighting the same way they've fought for millennia, but humans have studied every battle pattern in their databases. The engagement begins with the Vorthons opening fire at maximum range, expecting their superior numbers to overwhelm the small human force. Their plasma cannons and particle beams light up space, but the human ships seem to vanish like ghosts. Stealth technology borrowed from the Nexari species and improved by human engineers makes the fleet nearly invisible to conventional sensors. When the humans strike back, it's with weapons that defy Vorthon understanding. Railguns accelerate projectiles to relativistic speeds, creating impacts that shatter alien hulls like glass. Energy weapons that combine technologies from multiple species overload Vorthon shields in seconds. Drone swarms, controlled by AI. Systems that think faster than organic minds, coordinate attacks with mathematical precision. General Corax watches in horror as his fleet is systematically destroyed. Vorthon ships that have dominated battlefields for centuries are reduced to burning wreckage in minutes. The aliens' advantage in numbers means nothing when humans can strike from any direction at will. But the real shock comes when the human fleet begins targeting the planet's orbital installations. The Vorthons have always been the attackers, never the defenders. Their military bases were designed to project power outward, not withstand siege warfare. Human missiles, guided by AI that can predict defensive patterns, penetrate every layer of protection. On Corva Prime's surface, Vorthon civilians watch their mighty fleet burn in the sky above. For the first time in their species' history, they feel the fear that they've inflicted on countless other worlds. News of the battle spreads across the galaxy in hours. Dr. Johnson monitors the engagement from Earth's command center, studying how Vorthon technology performs under pressure. Every alien ship that fires on human forces provides more data about their capabilities and limitations. The battle is not just military victory, it's a massive intelligence-gathering operation. The Galactic Council convenes an emergency session. As reports flood in from Corva Prime, species that have remained neutral in the human Vorthon conflict suddenly realize that the balance of power is shifting. Ambassador Brooks watches her former colleagues panic as they understand that humans are no longer the peaceful newcomers they once knew. Captain, Miller's fleet completes its mission without losing a single ship. As the surviving Vorthan vessels retreat in chaos, he broadcasts a message across all frequencies. His words are simple, but carry the weight of Earth's new doctrine. This is what happens when you target human civilians. Surrender now, or face the consequences. The part ends with General Korax sending a desperate message to his homeworld. The Vorthan Empire, which has conquered dozens of species, now faces an enemy that fights with technology and tactics they cannot comprehend. The predators have become prey, and they don't know how to stop what they've unleashed. Asterisk news of Kova Prime's destruction spreads panic throughout Vorthan space. The Empire's high command, led by Supreme General Vex, refuses to believe that their mighty fleet was defeated by inferior humans. They mobilize their entire military, over 2,000 warships, for a final assault on Earth itself. Admiral Stone receives intelligence reports from human spy networks embedded throughout alien space. The Vorthans are gathering forces from across their empire, calling in debts from allied species, and preparing for the largest military operation in their history. They intend to destroy Earth completely, making an example that will prevent other species from challenging their dominance. President Santos addresses the United Earth Assembly in a historic session. She reveals the truth that humanity has hidden for centuries. Earth's peaceful exterior concealed the most advanced military-industrial complex in the galaxy. While aliens focused on individual technologies, humans had been integrating and improving everything they learned. The revelation shocks even Earth's own population. Cities built on the surface were just the visible layer of human civilization. Beneath every major population center lie manufacturing facilities, research laboratories, and weapons storage that could supply armies. The asteroid belt contains mining operations and shipyards that have been producing military hardware for decades. Dr. Johnson unveils humanity's ultimate creation, the Prometheus fleet. These ships don't just use alien technology, they represent a completely new approach to warfare. Artificial intelligence networks coordinate thousands of vessels simultaneously. Weapon systems adapt in real time to enemy defenses. Defensive measures learn from each attack and become stronger. Young Tom Parker, now recovered from his injuries, serves as a symbol of why humanity fights. When reporters ask him what he wants to tell the Vorthans, his answer reflects the steel that defines human nature. They took my family. Now they'll learn what that means. The Vorthan Armada arrives at Earth's solar system, expecting to find a desperate defense around a single planet. Instead, they encounter something unprecedented. Every celestial body from Mercury to Pluto bristles with defensive installations. The asteroid belt itself has been weaponized, with mining equipment converted to launch kinetic projectiles at approaching enemies. Supreme General Vex realizes too late that humans have turned their entire solar system into a fortress. But pride and desperation drive him forward. The Vorthan fleet advances, expecting their overwhelming numbers to crush any resistance. The Battle of Sol begins with the largest exchange of fire in galactic history. Vorthan plasma cannons light up space as they target human installations. But Earth's defenders respond with weapons that seem to violate known physics. Reality-warping devices create gravity wells that crush alien ships. Temporal manipulation. Technology slows enemy projectiles while accelerating human weapons. Captain Miller leads a squadron of Prometheus-class destroyers against the Vorthan flagship. His ships move through space like living creatures, dodging fire with impossible grace while striking back with devastating precision. The engagement becomes a masterclass in human tactical thinking, adaptable, unpredictable, and utterly ruthless. The tide turns when human AI networks begin predicting Vorthan movements faster than the aliens can execute them. Every ship in the enemy fleet finds itself targeted by weapons they cannot see, cannot track, and cannot escape. The overwhelming force that was supposed to destroy Earth becomes a trapped and desperate mob, supreme. General Vex watches his empire's greatest fleet disintegrate around him. Species that allied with the Vorthons begin withdrawing their forces as they realize they've chosen the losing side. The general sends one final message to his homeworld. The humans were never weak. They were waiting. 6 months after the battle. Of Sol, the galaxy looks very different. The Vorthon Empire has collapsed, its member species either surrendering to human forces or fleeing to distant sectors. The Galactic Council, stripped of its most powerful military backers, struggles to maintain authority over civilizations that now question the old order. Admiral Stone stands on the bridge of humanity's newest flagship, watching as former Vorthon worlds are transformed into protectorates under Earth's guidance. The humans don't rule through fear like their predecessors. They offer protection, technology, and prosperity to species willing to embrace peaceful coexistence. Ambassador Brooks addresses the reformed Galactic Council from her position as Earth's new representative. The council chambers, once dominated by ancient species that treated humans as subordinates, now hang on every word from the woman whose species redefined galactic warfare. She outlines humanity's new doctrine. Aggressive expansion will be met with overwhelming force, but peaceful cooperation will be rewarded with technological advancement. Dr. Johnson's research teams work openly now, sharing medical breakthroughs and engineering innovations with allied species. The secrecy that once protected Earth's military development has been replaced by transparent cooperation with those who prove trustworthy. Species that participated in attacks on human civilians find themselves excluded from this technological renaissance. The transformation extends beyond military power. Human colonies that were once targets for raiders have become centers of interspecies commerce and culture. New Hope, rebuilt from the ashes of Vorthon destruction, stands as a symbol of humanity's resilience. Tom Parker, now a teenager, studies at the colony's new university alongside alien students whose parents once served the Empire. Captain Miller has been promoted to Fleet Admiral, overseeing humanity's expanding defensive perimeter. His ships patrol trade routes that were once hunting grounds for pirates and slavers. The presence of human vessels doesn't intimidate through superior firepower alone. Their reputation for protecting the innocent has made them welcome in systems across the galaxy. But not every species accepts the new reality. Deep in unexplored space, remnants of the Vorthon military gather under rogue commanders who refuse to acknowledge defeat. They plot revenge against Earth, seeking ancient weapons and forgotten technologies that might restore their empire's dominance. President Santos, now in her second term, receives intelligence reports about these holdouts. She authorizes the expansion of human exploration fleets, missions that serve dual purposes as scientific expeditions and security patrols. Humanity will never again be caught unprepared for threats against their people. The story's climax comes during a ceremony at the rebuilt New Hope colony. Representatives from dozens of species gather to sign the New Soul Accord, a treaty that establishes Earth as the guarantor of peace for smaller civilizations. The document represents everything humans fought to achieve, not domination, but protection. For the innocent. As Tom Parker speaks to the assembly about his memories of the colony's destruction and rebirth, his words capture the essence of humanity's transformation. They crossed a line when they targeted civilians, he explains, not understanding that humans protect their own with a ferocity that few species can match. The story concludes with a scene aboard a human exploration vessel at the galaxy's edge. The crew discovers signals from an unknown civilization, potentially hostile and certainly powerful. The captain's response reflects humanity's new position. In galactic affairs, they will approach with extended hands of friendship, but those hands are backed by the strength to defend what they protect. In the final paragraphs, the narrative pulls back to show the galaxy from a cosmic perspective. Trade flows along routes protected by human fleets. Scientific collaboration produces innovations that benefit all participating species. And at the center of it all, Earth stands not as a conqueror, but as a guardian that learned the hardest lesson in the universe. Sometimes peace can only be maintained through the credible threat of overwhelming force. The last lines echo the story's opening theme. Humanity tried diplomacy first, but when enemies mistake kindness for weakness, they discover why Earth conquered its own solar system before meeting aliens. They crossed the line, and humanity unleashed everything. Now the galaxy is safer for it,